The next division I'll discuss is Public Works. Public Works, our main increases for Public Works, there really isn't any increases. We took on the Traffic Maintenance Bureau. If you remember, we moved the Traffic Maintenance Bureau from engineering over to Public Works. That actually represents a lot of the salary increases here, and also the red light camera funding also, and the motor vehicle fine budget. We had to move some employees into county funded positions that were motor vehicle fine funded positions. So that's why our salaries have increased the way they have. The OE expenses are mainly because of the Traffic Maintenance Bureau. Again, that's they used to be under engineering, and they used to be fully grant funded. And a few years back, I'm not sure when it was. Maybe if you can help me on that one.
We've also funding was actually booked in 2013.
Right.
So we moved that expense $850,000 approximately the 2013 budget, and this budget represents over $850,000 of red light camera revenue that we previously received that we no longer get.
So those are increases for the Public Works Division. Some of the accomplishments that we did. I mean, obviously we have 6 bureaus within that division. Again, we can sit here and we can talk about potholes getting repaired all night if we want to, but I don't really want to bore you with that, even though that is probably on the top of everybody's list, and it is one of the most important things that we will have to do. I should say that we did in the past, and that we will have to do moving forward. We've already done this year over 1,000 potholes, and if you look at these numbers here, we did about 1,200 in 2014 under the Bureau of Roads and Bridges. The Bureau of Mosquito Control, obviously continues to do what they do. They handled about 348 complaints in 2014. We also had 14 separate spraying operations, which we conducted during evening hours at different locations throughout the county. And those are, we get requests on a regular basis to go to certain towns that that are having events. We'll spray before events for townships, for municipalities, to do that for them. And also any private home that has a concern about mosquitoes in the yard, we'll send the crew right out, and we'll take some testing. We'll set some baits for them, and then we'll come back and we'll collect them, and then we'll do a study on what kind of mosquitoes are in the area, and then we'll get that sent out to labs, and we'll have all the information that we need. Shade tree conservation, again, 15,000 trees that we have roughly around all the county roads. We took down about 300 in 2014, and we trimmed about 500 trees. Again, this is probably one of the smallest bureaus we have in the county. We have, I think, 6 or 7 guys in that, and it's also one of the most dangerous that we have. These guys do a phenomenal job in what they do. It's very dangerous. They're always in precarious positions on a regular basis, and they do a phenomenal job. Continuing with accomplishments, the Bureau of Inspections, which inspects all the roads for all the contractors that come in, whether it's utilities or a private contractor coming in to put in a gas line, a water line and stuff. But this is also revenue generating for us. In fees, we collected $89,000 in 2014, and 126,000, as you can see, refundable fees for a total of $215,000 we collected for those permits that are taken in. The Bureau of Heavy Equipment and Truck Repair, that actually came over to my department a few years back, and what we were able to do is work on all the heavy equipment and trucks that are within the whole county, and they're also most of the dump trucks and the sweepers and all the plows going in and out of our shop there. If you look at those numbers, 590 work orders and 14, cost of $410,000 and about 5,000 hours of them we put in. Traffic safety and maintenance, again, that's the whole bureau that came over. This bureau services probably most of the departments within the county, and also probably every municipality throughout the county, whether it's their their public works, their police departments, or anything else. They do all the traffic, all the longitudinal lines that are on the roads and the signs, the lines and the signs, I guess you could say. They maintain that on a regular basis. We have a program that we have with all the towns as far as line striping in the towns. We have a nominal fee that we charge the towns for that. If you go on to the next page there, you'll see we fabricated about 655 signs. Those are from the regular signs you see on the roads to personal signs for either for any department that we have. You know, if we're doing office signs or if we're doing signs for certain buildings within the county, that all gets done there. We also do vehicle markings. We do them for the police departments and or for our own trucks. So a lot of police departments will ask us to do markings for them. We'll do a whole set of markings, which is the stickers. We charge them a nominal fee, and we give them the stickers, and they have them installed themselves. Then the rest of that is all just stats, basically. Again, they were really involved in our GIS asset management stuff. Through GIS, we were able to tag 850 assets. That being signs and stuff like that on the road, so we can go back and we can find out when we change the signs last one, they have to be redone. And we'll go back into that. And we also tag any of the traffic lights that come up too. Accomplishments. Again, there's more accomplishments on that page. Just highlight anything else. They work hand in hand with GIS again, which is a big help. I mean, GIS is a big part of my department, and obviously the traffic is big. Initiatives moving forward for the roads. The main one I'm going to say for Bureau Roads and Bridges is obviously to repair all the potholes, and also to continue with our annual paving projects that we have. I think we're paving about 12 miles a year through Capital, but also we have our own paving machine, our own milling machine, and we'll do a bunch of roads also, roads and parking lots through the county too. Heavy equipment, we'll just continue on that. Mosquito control has their annual stuff that we'll do on a regular basis. Shade tree, we're going to continue what we're doing there. We get roughly about 200 calls a month, and they're, especially after this bad winter, we'll get a lot more because the ground's wet, and some of these trees tend to fall a lot easier than normal. Initiatives for traffic and safety. There's a grant program that they're going to be working with the county engineers in the state for reflectivity compliance, which is a new compliance that the state's putting out on all the signs. You're going to have to add certain reflections to the signs, which make them easier to see as you're heading down the road. There. The next is my facilities management budget. All right, my facilities management budget went up. Okay, the main reason here, we took on hospital maintenance. The hospital maintenance division, which I had last year, came now, and that falls under my facilities management group. So that's increased with those salaries and everything else there, and also so that moved into facilities. And the hospital maintenance now.
Where were they last year?
What's that?
Director, just where were they last year?
Under hospital maintenance. Hospital maintenance had its own separate division last year.
Okay, so you collapsed the divisions.
Yes.
What was, just so I guess for perspective, what was the budget on hospital maintenance in
2014? 1.217 million was my total budget.
Okay, so then that number is, so then this number represents what, about a $500,000 increase?
Yes, it does. We have our increases are basically based on the, any of our contracts that we have out there now, based on the increase in pricing and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, can I just offer a clarification? The salaries of hospital maintenance was 1.2, and the operating expense was $379,000. So that brings
Yes, I'm
it
sorry,
to
1577, I apologize.
So it's a little less than $50,000 from last year when you roll it into facilities. And coupled with the fact that we still had to maintain some sections of our facilities that the board was looking to roll into.
Is there, while we're on, is there any, we've heard about peer grouping a couple times in relation to the hospital. Is there any loss in terms of peer grouping funds relative to the Mills Hospital?
Absolutely. Last year, we booked approximately $948,000 in peer grouping dollars. We will not be anticipating any peer grouping dollars this year.
Sorry for the interruption.
Oh, it's fine. Thank you. So that's our difference for facilities management this year. So many compliments for 2014. Some of the stuff you guys won't notice yourselves. I mean, we replaced 2 of the 4 air conditioning units up there. We're gonna replace the other ones this year, and also in 2016. We have some other HVAC upgrades. And then, a lot of building downtown, we did a lot of work to everything. And then we have a lot of stuff coming on down the Elizabeth Complex. Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the Chancery Court stuff was completed. The Tower Elevator project was completed also. The Osceola Correctional Facility kitchen renovations were completed. The inmate showers are about 95% complete. The rest will be, I forgot the camera this year, we'll have that done. We're going to also be doing some cameras in the correctional facility, which is part of, it's all part of the same project. So that's going to be moving into this year. Yeah, 2015 initiatives for that. We have a kitchen hood fire system coming in. We have to comply to the state fire code mandates, so we also have to replace 2 air conditioning units. The ones that we did in 14, we have quotes to do 1 more in 15, like I said before, and 1 in 16. The engineering public works building, we're going to be putting emergency generators in there. One of the things that I know I brought up in the past is during any kind of major storm event or anything else, I'd like to make my facility on the engineering building like an EOC for public works directors within the county, so we can bring everybody together during any kind of storm event, so we can all see what's going on throughout the whole county. So that's one of my main initiatives for next year for there. And then obviously the tower egress and fire upgrade project, which is one of the biggest capital projects we have going on within the county. So that's moving into next year. And then again, you'll see hospital maintenance, which was in 14. I just happened to throw it in there for this year, and that's what I have. And I'll try and answer any questions that you have. That's my presentation.
Well, thank you, Director Freeland. Any questions for Director Graziano regarding facilities, public works? Freeland or Estrada?
Yes. Just let me go back a second there to your accomplishment in 2014 in reference to the Bureau of Mosquito Control.
Sure.
Because I guess people need to realize the importance of this particular department. In essence, I don't know how many positive hits did you get this year on the Westlaw virus. We don't mention it here, but
I don't have that mentioned here. Joe, do you have any idea how many we had?
I could be mistaken, but the number 314 positive pulls rings the bell from last year.
so in essence,
314 positive.
no, I know it's a big number because what happens is that we take it for granted, and if you look at the number of cases that we ended up in Union County, are minimal. I think you can count in one hand possibly. But the reality is that the aggressiveness in terms of getting this work done, I guess it goes a lot of kudos to these individuals who consistently go out and make that happen. So kudos for that.
Thank you.
The Bureau of Shade Tree and Conservation Now, we were supposed to be inventorying all the trees that line our roads. Is that been done already, or is it partly done, or?
Yes, we do that as we go. I mean, we don't have a full inventory on which trees are on which roads, but we are starting in certain areas. And probably 7 times out of 10, whenever we're going out on a tree complaint, a lot of these trees are obviously getting up to that age where they have to be removed, and then we do a lot of replantings as well.
Exactly the reason. I mean, we need to ensure that we keep our roads very nice shaded. Hopefully get some flowering trees up there, red trees are there. My Bible tree hugger. And I guess that's it for now.
Thank you.
Mr. Kowalski.
Following up about the trees, you talked about the trees that are removed, and we have a program which is not under Public Works of distributing funding for trees to Green Union County, but do you know more or less how many trees our crew plants?
No, I don't. Joe, do you know how much?
This year, we didn't do a full planting by our tree contractor. I don't know the number for the following year, but I think this coming year, we'll probably be doing much planting. And between parks and public works on roadways and parks, what do I think somewhere it's 300-400 trees that will probably be replaced.
All right, and I just would like to add that given the kinds of serious weather challenges we've had the last year, I think our public works crews have done an outstanding job in keeping the roads clear. I know often the towns take quite a bit longer to catch up with clearing the roads, but every time we've had a storm, our county roads have been cleared well and quickly, so I thank all of your staff and the director for that.
And just to add on to that, just so everybody knows, I mean, we work well with every community within Union County. Anytime anybody needs a hand, or if we need a hand, we're always there for them, and they're always there for us. Every single community in the county has helped us, and we've helped every single community on a numerous basis. Because our main concern is obviously the traveling public. It doesn't matter if it's on the county road or not. We're going to help out everybody.
Joe, the number, I'm just taking a look at the personnel numbers. So I see in terms of total funding, the county is budgeting $9.9 million this year. The county dollars for wages and salaries, $3.6 million in non-county, so I see grant funded. How does that rank? How does that compare towards previous years? Are we seeing a significant drop in grant dollars?
Yes, we are.
About how much total?
Over the course of 2 years, we've seen probably a decrease of over $2 million between the DOT funding that we lost, coupled with the red light revenue.
Okay. So the 600, I see 595,000 in new requests, but taking a glance through the names, I see some, they're not new names. So what my understanding is a lot of these requests for county dollars aren't simply increases or new jobs, it's simply funding existing employees that were once grant funded and moving them over.
That's correct. So there are no new positions in this department.
Okay, great. Just in terms of, and one last question, in terms of the road paving in Union County, how many miles of roads are, is there a calculation of what we paved last year?
Yeah, last year I think we paved 12 to 13 miles with that, and then we also paved probably another mile or so ourselves with our own stuff. Plus we did parkland. So we plan on doing the same thing this year. This year there's obviously a lot of challenges with the potholes out there first. So.
Sure. How does that rate towards previous years? I mean, what did we do in 13? I guess.
Probably around the same. Usually around the same.
We paved effectively the same amount.
Yes. Yeah. We usually pave 12 miles a year. Which we have about 184 road miles we have. So we try and do roads on like a 10 or 12 year cycle usually, all depending on where the road is and how much water it gets. So typically 10 to 12 years.
Oh, good to know that we're still maintaining that level of service despite
Yes.
grant cuts. that we're able to keep up, but we'd love to do more, but there are limitations. So. Friel, is there any other questions for Director Graziano? Public Works, mosquitoes, anything? No? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you for all this.
Next